Yo, what's happening, Cowboys Nation? All my fellow Dallas Cowboys fans. This your boy, the Real McCoy, coming at you, man. This video here, you know, it's the off season. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, Cowboys season ended before we all thought it would, hoped it would. But like I said before, we gotta move on. This video here, it could get long. I'm trying to make it short as possible. It could get long because I want to explain my reasoning behind each decision. That I make here. And but we're talking about free agency. You know, free agency is before the draft, so what you do in free agency it should have a direct effect on what you do in the draft. This video here is so we're gonna jump right into it, man. This video here, we're talking about the top 5 free agents, in my humble opinion, who I believe the Dallas Cowboys should target. I'm not saying they should go after these players and sign them to whatever they want. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying target them. Go out there, get with their representation, their agents, see what the price tag is, things like that. See what their interest is as far as playing in Dallas. You can be a Dallas Cowboy hater all you want, but you have to admit the Dallas Cowboys, because of the team, the young team, they will intrigue a lot of free agents to come to Dallas, no doubt about it. You look at Dallas, you see a team that's, man, I can win a ring here. You got some veterans, you know what I mean, age around 30 years old. They feel like they can win a ring here in Dallas with this young team. So teams will be interested to come to Dallas. But this video here is my top 5 free agents who I personally believe, who I feel like the Dallas Cowboys should target in order of importance, from 5 to number 1 as the most important. And I'm going to explain my reasoning as of why, things like that. So we'll jump right into it. I'll make the video long. Number 5, you know, as you guys can see here, is DeSean Jackson, wide receiver. Now, some of you guys probably say we don't need a wide receiver. Why get DeSean? We got Dez. Our offense finished top 5 in scoring. I think just under 30 points a game. We scored 31 points in the playoff game. Why we need DeSean Jackson? Well, the reason why I mentioned DeSean is I think this is more of an intrigue, because both of our number 2 receivers, Terrence Williams, Bryce Butler, they're both free agents. Bryce Butler has a higher ceiling than Terrence Williams, bigger catch radius, things like that. But Terrence Williams is more consistent, in my opinion. But what DeSean Jackson can do is take the top off of defense, over the top. We're looking at his numbers here. He's still a 1,000-yard receiver, things like that. Not a lot of catches, touchdowns. He will give us some special teams ability. As far as regular season or playoffs, I don't know the last time we had a kick or a punt return back for a touchdown. It's been a long time. I don't remember. Let me know. When we were down 21-3 to the Packers in the playoff game, even though we did fight our way back, DeSean is the type of player where we can get big plays like that. You know what I mean? He's the one guy we can throw a wide receiver screen to, and he can go 75 yards. Maybe we do that with Cole, but Cole is not going to go 75 yards. You know what I mean? Dez, maybe with Dez, will probably get caught from behind. That's what DeSean Jackson can do. He's 30 years old. He still got that speed. You can't coach speed, you know what I mean? So if we don't re-sign Terrence Williams or Bryce Butler, maybe go after DeSean. And what will help DeSean is the reason why you drafted Ezekiel Elliott in the 4th round. The running game. You know what I mean? And if you're worried about Dez and DeSean going over the top, you're gonna put 2 safeties up top. You know what I mean? 2 high safeties. We're gonna eat you up with Zeke. You know what I mean? Our offense with DeSean Jackson can go from elite, you know what I mean, to historic, like the 98 Vikings, you know what I mean, the 07 Patriots, the 2013 Broncos. Now, none of those teams won a Super Bowl, but you know what I mean, our offense, it would just be unstoppable. You know what I mean? I know we need defense, but the 2017 draft class is full of deep defensive ends, cornerback. Safety is okay, not great, you know what I mean, but cornerback and defensive end, our 2 needs, is deep. That's why I got DeSean Jackson on here. He can really take our offense to just an unstoppable level with him going over the top. Jason Witt and Cole Beasley broke in the middle of the field. Zeke can catch out of the backfield. Dak Prescott can scramble. Don't forget about Dez. You know what I mean? Things like that. Just really take our offense just through the roof. Don't know what his price tag will be. It'll probably be more than what DeSean, Bryce Butler and Terrence Williams will want. He's rumored that DeSean wants to go back to Philly and play with Carson Wentz. I'm hearing LA Rams, things like that. So I got him number 5. He would definitely help me take our offense to a new level. Not saying our offense needs any help, you know what I mean? But he can take it to a whole nother level. I got him at number 5, you know. Now number 4, a few guys have mentioned him down in the comment section, and that's Calais Campbell from the Arizona Cardinals. Most of his career defensive end. Now that at the age of 30, some of his athleticism has gone down. They've bumped him inside to defensive tackle. Now he's kind of like Byron Jones. He would give us the versatility on the defensive line. He has the size and the strength to play one technique. He can play 3 technique, you know what I mean? On situational downs, he can give us a little pass rush at defensive end. Don't think he has much of that left in him, things like that. But he can give us versatility across the defensive line. You know, if he's going to be the 1 technique or the 3 technique, you know what I mean? Then we can either bulk up Malik Collins and make him the 1, or we got rotation with Malik Collins, Tyrone Crawford, things like that. Still draft a defensive end in the 1st round. Then on the other defensive end, you could have don't forget about Charles Tapper, Benson Mayor, DeMarcus Lawrence, maybe even David Irving, things like that. He would give us veteran leadership, things like that. At his age, he could come at a decent price. When you look at his numbers, that was pretty impressive for his age. Pretty impressive season, man. When we look at his numbers, he played in all 16 games. At that position, at that age, that can be difficult to do, things like that. But very productive, man. He's giving us sacks, which is something that we need. You know what I mean? From interior defensive lineman, he can collapse the pocket and let the ends come around the edge and do their thing. You know what I mean? Gives us experience. I'm a firm believer, high school, college, professional, you need a good mix of young players and veteran players as well. You know what I mean? For a lot, he's a God-fearing Christian man. That's the same background I have, so I can relate to that. Won't be a locker room guy, good in the community, things like that. So I've got him at number 4, productive season at his age. I think he'll be affordable because of his age. I was thinking that for his defensive tackle, Kawan Short. You guys remember Super Bowl 50, Broncos, Panthers. Von Miller dominated that game, MVP. But Kawan Short for the Carolina Panthers had a good season. I mean, he had a great game, Super Bowl 50. He's a free agent. I just think he's gonna be way too expensive. I mean, maybe like a Marcel Darius or a Ndamukong Suh type contract, Gerald McCoy. I just think Calais Campbell will be a little bit cheaper, you know what I mean, especially at the age of 30. I got Calais Campbell number 4. I'm trying to hurry through. I don't want to make the video too long. For me, number 3, I got JPP. The reason why I have JPP ahead of Calais Campbell for 2 reasons, age and the position. You know, when you have an established defensive end pass rusher like JPP is, you don't see those type of guys that's walking around on the free agent market. Those guys usually get locked up. You don't see Von Millers and Khalil Max just walking around, free, not signed with any team. Those guys, because they're rare to find. You know what I mean? With JPP, he gives us the one position that, we need more than anything else, and that's pass rush. Whereas Calais Campbell, between Malik Collins and Tyrone Crawford, those two can be serviceable. You know what I mean? As Malik Collins developing things like that. And mainly because it's 8, because in 2 years, Calais Campbell is 30. In 2 years, he'll be 32. He'll be getting ready to be done. Whereas JPP in 2 years, he'll be close to being done, and we can still get another 2 years out of him. You know what I mean? He can still grow with this young team that we have. Whereas if we do go out and draft the defensive end in the 1st round, they're still rookies. For every Peyton Manning, you got a Ryan Leaf. They're not established like a JPP is. The thing with him is, you guys can see on the bottom right of your screen, he's missing 2.5 fingers. You know what I mean? He only has about 7 fingers. We all know about the hand injury, things like that. But he still got 7 sacks. He'll have a full season under his belt playing with that hand injury. But he does have an injury history as well. You know what I mean? I was close to putting Calais Campbell ahead of him. You know what I mean? But just his age, he's only 28. And he actually plays defensive end. That's what we need. We need a defensive end. Calais Campbell is definitely interesting. He'll be cheaper than JPP. JPP is probably going to cost too much. You know what I mean? Depending on what his price tag is. If I'm a GM, I'm definitely going to hold that hand injury against him. If he wants $15 million, like I give you 12, maybe 10 with that hand injury. And that's just not personal against JPP. That's just business. You know, so I would definitely hold a hand injury against him. But I've got JPP at number 3 because he's an established pass rusher. You know what I mean? A guy who wants to still prove himself. He's still 28, and he can fill a void that we need. So we can still go and get an end in the draft. They say the 2017 draft is deep with corners and defensive ends, which is good for us because that's what we need. You know what I mean? I've got JPP 3. I almost put Calais Campbell ahead of him at number 3. I wouldn't argue against that. You know what I mean? But that's how I got it. At number 2, I've got Dontari Poe. I know that's kind of like, whoa, where did that come from? Yeah, Dontari Poe from the Chiefs. What's he going to do? You guys probably looking at his numbers and like, he's not giving us sacks and tackles. What we need him for? If I was to if I'm to put on my GM cap, from Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, I'm not paying Dontari Poe to get sacks. I'm paying Dontari Poe to do 2 things. Well, even though I guess 3. Even though the Cowboys, we were number 1 against stopping the run in the NFL regular season, we gave up less than 90 rushing yards a game. Poe can definitely make that even better. But the 2 reasons why I'm signing, or I would sign Dontari Poe, is to collapse the pocket and command a double team. You know, if he would fill a position, I still feel like we need a viable one technique defensive tackle. If he can collapse the pocket, you know what I mean, and let our ends come around the corner, you know, because big strong guy like this, that's what I'm paying him for. He's not gonna get the sacks, things like that. I'm paying him so the quarterback can't step up in the pocket and let the ends come. I mean, if you got Dontari Poe with the one technique, now Tyrone Crawford, Cedric Thornton, Malik Collins, McClain. If I'm Coach Garrett, these guys got to compete for the 3 technique defensive tackle. I personally think Malik Collins would beat him out. I know a lot of you guys love Tyrone Crawford. He's got the contract. I just think Malik Collins outplayed him. You know what I mean? So if we have, whatever rookie we draft in the first round of defensive end, Dontari Poe at one technique, D-tackle, Malik Collins, and, David Irving, Charles Tapper, Mayor, DeMarcus Lawrence at the other defensive end, that's a formidable defensive front right there, in my opinion. But the main reason why I command a double team, if he can command a double team on passing situations, then you can allow Sean Lee to blitz up the A-gap. Sean Lee can probably get 5 or 6 sacks. You know what I mean? Or if he command a double team, now you've got Sean Lee, and don't forget about Jalen Smith. Those guys are freed up to make tackles. I mean, I think Sean Lee was 2nd in the league in tackles behind Bobby Wagner. I mean, Jalen Smith, first year as a starter, he could get 100 tackles because Dontari Poe commands a double team. And let Sean Lee and Jalen Smith just fly around the middle of the field. I love Ray Lewis, as great as Ray Lewis is, top 5, top 10 defender, top 3 NFL history, wherever you want to rank him. He was helped a lot by, you guys remember, Tony Saragusa, the Goose, commanding a double team. That frees up your linebacker. Haloti Ngata with the Ravens, that frees up your linebacker. If he can command a double team, which I think he can and will, that frees up Sean Lee and Jalen Smith to fly around the field, make tackles for loss. Both of those guys could get 5 or 6 sacks, blitzing up the A-gap, B-gap, things like that. And, we draft a defensive end in the first round. Our front 4 would be, we can be dominant. You know what I mean? And still drafting that defensive end in the first round. That's what Dontari Poe. But the most interesting thing to me, when you look at him, is look at his age. I mean, he's only 26. He's got playoff experience, but he's also has plenty of time to grow and develop with this young team. He's only 26 years old. The middle of our defense will be locked up now with Poe, Sean Lee, Jalen Smith. The middle of the defense is the middle of the field. We're shutting it down. Absolutely shutting. I'll be putting pressure on the quarterback to make accurate throws outside of the numbers, which is hard to do unless you're Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean? Collapse the pocket. Anyway, that's who I got at number 2. That's my reasoning for it, Dontari Poe. Now for number 1, it's kind of interesting. I don't know if a lot of guys have thought about it. It may throw you off a little bit, but for me, it's this guy right here, Eric Berry. I mean, I've mentioned Eric Berry. I like Eric Berry a lot. I like Eric Berry. I like Earl Thomas, free safety, things like that with the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, some of you are saying, why not get JPP, Calais Campbell, Kawan Short, Dontari Poe on the defensive line? Why we need a secondary guy? We need pass rush. Well, the reason why I got Eric Berry number 1 is because, In 2014, we had no pass rush. I mean, Jeremy Mincey, I believe, led the team in sacks. I mean, oh my God. But we won. We went 12-4, 8-0 on the road, won the division, won the playoff game. 2016, the pass rush was a little bit better. Defense was better. We still didn't have that one elite guy, but we went 13-3, won the division, #1 seed, things like that. We can win games. Now, we got to do it in the playoffs, but we can win games with the pass rush that we have. Like I said, you can still go out in the first round, get a defensive end in the first round in the draft, and now we've got Eric Berry, a guy who can actually catch the ball and make plays on the ball. Say, Byron Jones has been a starter for 2 years. He has 1 interception. We need guys that can create havoc and make plays on the ball. That's what Eric Berry can do. And he got 2 touchdowns. I say, and that's why you draft a guy like Ezekiel Elliott, keeps the defense off the field. Our defense has made the pass rush has gotten better. We can get it in the draft. So we prove we can win games with a lackluster, pass rush, even though it's getting better. So why not bolster the secondary? Brandon Carr doesn't have a long-term contract. Mo Claiborne, free agent. J.J. Woodcock's free agent. Barry Church, free agent. You know what I mean? Now, we can't let all of those guys walk, even though, our defense didn't show up really, especially in the first half against the Packers. We got to re-sign some of those guys. Between Wilcox, Barry Church, and Eric Berry, who would you rather have? No doubt it's Eric Berry. No doubt. And a lot of you guys may disagree with me. I personally believe Jeff Heath deserves a little bit more playing time. When you put on the tape, he seems to find himself around the ball. I remember that kickoff against the Packers. He kicked it off. The score was 21-13 right before the half. And Christian Michael for the Packers, he was indecisive about should he bring it out of the end zone or should he take a knee. And he brung it out. He got tackled at the 6-yard line. Jeff Heath was the one who made the tackle. He just seems to be around the ball. He intercepted Aaron Rodgers. He had another interception, but it was a defensive pass interference. He picked off Jameis Winston, I think, twice last year before he made a bonehead play. He picked off Jameis Winston this year. David Irving hit his arm. He just seems to find. I'm not saying Jeff Heath is an all-pro. That's not what I'm saying. He just seems to be around the ball, and that's what we need on defense. Between Byron Jones and Eric Berry and Jeff Heath, I think our safety position would be good. And like I say, the 2017 draft is full of defensive ends and cornerbacks. It's full of them. It's full of them. We can get that pass rush defensive end in the first round and then get a cornerback in the second round, re-sign one of the corners we already have. That secondary can be solid. And we still bring back, hopefully, Charles Tapper, Jalen Smith. That's why I got Eric Berry #1. You know what I mean? I know some say, man, we need to get defensive line. We got to get pressure on the quarterback. We got to get defensive line. Like I say, 2014, 2016, we've proven we can win games without having an elite pass rusher. So if we can get one in the draft, a rookie in the draft, but also get a veteran like Eric Berry in the secondary, re-sign one of our corners, I personally think give Jeff Heath a little bit more playing time. We got Byron Jones, his versatility, outside corner, nickel corner. He can cover tight ends. He can play safety, things like that. Then we got a ball hawking safety like Eric Berry. You know what I mean? Things that you get Charles Tapper, you get Jalen Smith. That's my reasoning. I know I'm crazy, but that's my reasoning behind it. You know what I mean? The most intriguing thing for me about Eric Berry is he played both safety. He played free safety. He even played strong safety down in the box, stick his nose in there and make tackles. And he played cornerback. You know what I mean? The versatility like Byron Jones. The difference is he can create turnovers. Byron Jones hasn't shown that yet. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's my reasoning. That's my top 5 guys who I think we should target. I'm not saying that's who we should sign. Nobody else. Look at these 5 guys. Whoever they want, sign them. No, I'm just saying guys who they should target. Go talk to the representation. See what they want. See are they intrigued about coming to Dallas and see how much they want. You know what I mean? Let me know what you guys want, Cowboys Nation. I know the video is getting kind of long. Take up too much of your time, but that's just my opinion on it. Got some more videos coming out. You know, the off-season is upon us, so let me know what you guys think, man. Cowboys Nation, like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, all that good stuff. And it's your boy, The Real McCoy, man. I'm out. Peace.